Hello everyone and welcome to our channel and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. And as you can see, today we have a very special guest. This is my husband, Tom.
Hi everybody.
And Tom has no idea what I'm building today. So obviously you've all seen from the title and the intro, you know what we're building. He does not. So let's see how long it takes him to figure this out. And Tom is also not a Sims player. I think I had you play The Sims once, I think, after we were first married, and back then it was The Sims 2, and I don't know if you remember that.
I wasn't very good.
So yeah, he's not really a player, but maybe we can get him into it with this video. Let's see. So, I don't know. By now, you probably have no idea what's going on.
It's looking like a storefront.
Okay, well, this time it's not a store. The surroundings. I mean, let's take a look at the surroundings. So we are in the world of Strangerville. So obviously this is very deserty, and this is one of my favorite worlds. Super pretty, all the red rock. So we're somewhere dry and arid, and I don't know if that'll help you figure out what we're doing. And maybe this is giving you a slight hint.
Yeah, I'm seeing the landscape kind of tells me definitely like, yeah, a western feel. This is starting to look like a saloon.
You got it! How far are we in? Ding ding! And I got something for you. Well, howdy, partner. You're gonna need that hat. Flynn.
Apparently Flynn doesn't like my hat.
Oh, he doesn't. Oh no. It's okay. Yeah, oh, he does not like your hat. I guess we have not worn hats around him.
Okay.
Whoopsies. So, okay, you can go over here. You're safe. So as you know, I was talking to you as I was building this, and I was saying, man, I really need a cup. I really need a glass of whiskey or bourbon. Like, I don't know, this just, I mean, it doesn't help that I was building a saloon.
Yeah, I see why you were thinking some bourbon would be good.
So yeah, I guess you still have time. You can pause the video, go grab a shot of bourbon. See, I'm getting so excited, and you can watch this with some bourbon. So perfect. I don't know. I just building this, I could almost smell all the wood, and almost, you know, that dry wood rot, that dry rot wood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we've had it at our place every once in a while.
Yeah, and anytime you go into these older buildings, like 1800s or older, that are a lot of wood, it has that certain specific smell, and I just always assume it's dry rot. I don't know.
Yeah. This is looking neat.
So I figured this was a build that you would probably really appreciate, so I figured you should sit in on this one.
Yeah, and I can't imagine anything nowadays with all these amazing wooden posts that are like hand carved, hand hewn, because quite honestly, not much these days has that much detail in it for woodwork.
Yeah, I mean, this style is a little bit more simplistic compared to some of the other fancy Victorian era styles, but yeah, still, all of the quality craftsmanship that went into these places, things are not built like they used to be. So yep, here we are inside. I should mention, this isn't just a saloon. There's more to this build, and this is just part one. I don't know if we'll both be back next week, but I'll be back next week with something adding on to this. But this is not just a saloon. So you will see, okay, well, I'll say with the saloon, I also made it a hotel and a bathhouse, because I figured for this time period, that was pretty common. You had the men that were maybe working on the railroad, They were staying in a town for a short period of time. They needed somewhere to sleep, and they needed somewhere to bathe.
Yep.
So this is where all the stinky men came.
Yep.
I did make a bath area for the women because I figured, you know what? The women shouldn't be stinky either. So we'll see that in a little bit. But yes, there's also something besides the saloon and the hotel that I won't give away. But yes, this is totally Western. This kind of reminded me a little bit of our trips to Colorado, and one of our favorite towns, do I dare say. It's becoming very popular now. It used to be kind of a hidden gem. You're right.
Yep.
If you look at pictures of this town and you compare it to way back when it was first built, it looks completely unchanged. It's not exactly like this, right? It's not
Right.
like a dry, arid, deserty, but it's still, I mean,
Well, yeah,
it's got that old Western feel still.
and it's more of a mountain town. What you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more of Paonia area. Was more of that high desert area that kind of reminded us of out in Utah, the southern end.
Yeah, this is more, I don't know, it's more classic of the Southwest, I guess, too. The style, but you do see it kind of scattered throughout Colorado. There'll be like little bits here and there.
Yep.
I will mention quickly, we are working on a custom piano again. I needed a saloon piano. We could not have the saloon without the saloon piano.
No. Mm-mm.
So I think it turned out pretty good. Maybe some point we will actually get these upright pianos because we don't have them in the game. We have the fancy like grand pianos and we have keyboards and that's it.
Yeah, they need some old style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also in here, you may have seen the tables went up, so we have card tables. Like, is that just classic Western show movie?
You need poker.
So we have card tables, we have one chess table that I added in later, and then we have another Don't Wake the Llama game.
No idea what that is.
So there's a decent amount of card tables. You can see the card tables because, yeah, like I said, what movie or like Western movie have you seen and it's like there's always poker?
Yep.
And this, as I'm building, automatically made me think of John Wayne movies. The old John Wayne Westerns, which to me sometimes can be kind of corny. But I don't know, it's just a classic genre that if you've never seen any, you should totally watch. Do you have a favorite Western movie, show, or like...
No.
Yeah. I don't know, I think of The Magnificent Seven is such a classic, and that has been redone. It's actually got a pretty good storyline for a Western, I think. I think it's pretty good. Slightly sad.
Yeah.
A lot of Westerns are. It's a lot of death.
Yeah. I don't know. I gravitated towards like the Wyatt Earp type Tombstone movies.
Yeah, another classic Western, I think, that people automatically think of when they think of Westerns.
Yep.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, like that time era, we did go to Doc Holliday's grave in Colorado.
That was pretty hot.
Pretty hot. Not probably what you're thinking in that term, hot temperature-wise.
Yeah, extremely hot.
That sounds slightly creepy and weird.
Yeah, I know, I did that on purpose.
Yeah, the few times we went up there, it was like over 100 degrees. And it's in deserty climate, and Glenwood Springs, that's where it is.
Yep. Yeah, and you gotta climb up quite a pretty good hike up on top of a vista. And there's nothing providing you with shade. So by the time you get up there, you're out of breath, super sweaty, and
and maybe you brought water. Hopefully you brought water.
Yeah.
There's no bathrooms. There are some trees up on top though.
Yeah.
But the whole way up is dry and hot. And if you're not used to elevation, then you're also dealing with trying to adjust to that and breathing and hot. But it's a really good hike. It was fun. And then the weird thing is, it's supposed to be his grave, but they don't actually know where he's buried.
It adds to the mystery.
They think he's buried somewhere up there, but they don't know for sure. Yeah. Okay, so now you see we're building the hotel. This is the hotel area.
Yeah.
I only kept in one of the 4 rooms for building because I basically made them all identical. I gave each room kind of something unique for things to do. Like this one has a violin in it. There's an easel in one, and this is all like off the grid stuff. Obviously some of the lighting in the game is not off the grid because we don't have enough stuff to make it off the grid and look like this time era. Otherwise I would have done that. But I did try to make it appropriate for the period. And you could play this as a residential lot. You can play it as a bar and you'll be like, wait, what? So for bars, you need to have a TV and a radio or a stereo. And I did not want to put that in because I'm like, that's just totally gonna ruin this. Like I said, you download it, you can make it like up to date, but so you don't see it on camera, but I stuffed a tiny old television in one of like the pillar support areas so you can't access it, you can't see it, and then I put an old-fashioned like gramophone kind of thing in one of the rooms. So this will function as a bar. Like, how does this not function? This has to function as a bar, but it could be a rental, it could be residential, it could be retail, which for this part wouldn't really make sense.
Yeah, so to play, you're saying to play the game, you have to have a TV in it to be considered a bar?
Yeah.
That's really stupid.
I know! Like, I've been to plenty of bars that do not have TVs. Why does there have to be a TV? So here we go. Changing the subject quick. We're moving on to the next thing. So now you can try to guess what we're building here. This was the other
a horse stable?
No, but that would have been good.
Oh, a barbershop.
I thought about that too, so maybe that'll be coming in the future.
Okay.
I have some ideas for next week, but I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to do. So maybe we can talk about it in a little bit, but...
So while the men
this will be very quickly given away. Here you go.
Yeah. For when someone had a little too much whiskey.
Exactly. So it's like, you know what? I put this next door because...
Then they can sleep it off there.
Yep. So yeah, the old jailhouse for the sheriff. I mean, what Western town is complete without the sheriff's office, the jailhouse?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this doesn't actually have its own private bathroom, which I also figured the sheriff can go next door to use the nice bathrooms. Very nice bathrooms. I feel like that would be allowed. Otherwise, there is accommodations in the cells, so if no one's here, you can just go and use it.
Is it just like a rusty bucket to go in?
Okay, which is interesting. So we don't have like nasty old toilets really, except you can build one doing woodworking and it's like an old outhouse one, and I almost put it in. I'm like, no, this just doesn't fit. So what I ended up doing is taking a prison toilet and I shrunk it down and I put a bucket there.
Okay.
I have to play test it yet, but I think it'll work that your Sims will, you still gotta click on the toilet in the bucket, but they should go over the bucket because no one's gonna have fancy accommodations during this time period in a prison cell.
Right. Yeah, they lost those rights.
Well, it's just, it wasn't a thing. I mean, they weren't gonna probably spend the money to have lavish accommodations for the prisoners.
Well, yeah. I mean, otherwise, why wouldn't somebody just do something to get in prison if their bathroom was great?
Yeah.
It's part of the punishment. But they get a nice fire to look at? That's pretty sweet.
This is the sheriff's, like, office area.
Oh, that's not in with the...
Yeah, this is...
prisoners?
So, in the back is the prison.
Okay.
If you maybe you were slightly distracted. In the back is the prison. This is the office area. This is where people come in. They can sit down and talk to the sheriff if they have problems. That's like, I figured he might spend very long days and nights here and might not go home, and he might end up crashing here.
Yep.
This is a custom pot because there needs to be a custom pot over the fireplace. We don't have that. It's not the greatest, but it gives that idea off, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's neat.
So next week, the builds. What should we be building?
Well, if you're going with this theme, I feel like barbershop is a good idea. Old style with the straight razors.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Thank you for pooping.
Better you than me.
It's in an easy cleanup area. Reality of pets.
Not my reality.
Yeah, my bird. My problem.
Yep.
So, possibly a barber shop. I was considering a general store.
Yep.
Yeah, an area for horses would be cool, except we don't have horses in the game. Oh, and the other thing I figured that I really wanted to do, but I have no idea how I would execute this, is a blacksmith.
Yep.
I
Definitely.
actually kind of looked at items in the game to make a custom anvil, but I don't know that there's enough to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then would it be the blacksmith as well, or who would be the person that makes the coffins for the town?
Oh.
Because somebody's
The
always...
blacksmith? Probably not the
Well,
blacksmith.
there's someone always in the movies that
Yeah,
usually is making the pine boxes.
Yeah, that's a good one. So you'll have to tune in next week to see what I come up with. I don't know. Let us know if you want to see Tom back, but we're kind of wrapping things up. Would you consider coming back?
I might need some bourbon.
Let us know if you want to see Tom back next week. Otherwise, we'll let you enjoy the rest of the video. And thanks for joining us. I hope you had a lot of fun with us. And we will see you all next week, everyone. Bye!
Bye.